Heidi.
And I'm Byron.
And we are sailing Schmitten. Hi friends. In our last video, we documented our crossing from Kemah, Texas to Pensacola, Florida. We needed a marine slip with electricity when we got to Pensacola so that we could do some repairs. A special friend helped us secure one at Pelican's Perch Marina. One of our repairs was to install a new freshwater pump, and Byron was able to do that, but it did take a whole week for the new pump to come in, and so in the meantime, we were living out of jerry cans. These are our jerry cans that we had to pour out of to do dishes or brush our teeth or take a shower. Not that fun. We hired Zern Rigging to inspect our rigging and install a new jib sheet. Byron repaired our cabin table, portside compass, and then some of the handholds in our cabin. Then we got to go have some fun watching the Pensacola Mardi Gras parade. We were waiting for a weather window to go further south. We replenished our fuel and went to our favorite anchorage, Fort McRee. We always felt comfortable making water at Fort McRee because the water was so clear. So Byron took the opportunity to change the filters on the water maker and got it running again. We had pickled it after last year's cruising season and we had not used it for a while. We spent 2 weeks in Pensacola, which was longer than we wanted, but it was probably what was needed for us to recover and repair some things. This poor sad dinghy, our porta boat. Last night we were driving and the transom connects to the rear seat and it just busted out while we were out there. And then the engine, we were at risk of losing the outboard. So we're looking for something different. These are our porta boat seats, and this one right here is the back seat. You can see where it just tore out. This part just completely tore out. This is the part that holds the transom in. Interesting. We don't have time to deal with the porta boat right now because we got a weather window to Port St. Joe. So we'll have to figure that out later. We're getting ready to leave Fort McRee Anchorage and head over to Port St. Joe. Thankfully, Byron is getting the snubber off. That's always very difficult. I'll take care of raising the anchor though. That's easy. So we are leaving Fort McRee and headed towards Port St. Joe. And hopefully it should be just like a 24 to 25 hour sail. Today is Friday, March 7th. As we left, we got to see the results of the Navy missile testing, and we heard them on the radio announcing what they were doing and to stay clear. Then we got our own private dolphin show. Finally, we had very favorable conditions, and we're hoping this is a trend. We arrived at Port St. Joe after 2 nights at sea, and we were very tired. Sleep was the first priority. We were fogged in on our first morning at Port St. Joe. On one side of us we could hear the ocean, and so we kind of knew where we were, but then the other side was very foggy and it looked like maybe it was the end of the world. Our home from the shore. We had some beautiful, peaceful mornings which we were in desperate need of. Can you believe this? Wake up and walk up on deck to see this. I'm not sure I need coffee anymore. This is a squadron of pelicans. I didn't know they were called that. the day. We get to go to a marina, South Point Marina in Port St. Joe, and they have laundry included in the transient slip fee.
And a Piggly Wiggly.
Yes, the Piggly Wiggly, and the Fisherman's Store, and the Ladies Boutique. And then there are restaurants and bars that are walkable. And it's just a really nice marina. I get really excited when we get to a new place and we get to have some walking exercise. We had oysters at the Uptown Raw Bar, and later we found out they were featured on America's Best Restaurants. They were the freshest we had ever had. And at Pepper's Restaurant, we recommend the Nachos Camarones and the body-sized margarita. Port St. Joe is on what is called the Forgotten Coast. I'll never forget it. It's our new dinghy. Get to build it right out here. So we had ordered a new high-field aluminum floor inflatable to replace our failed portaboat. We had it delivered to Point South Marina, and it was time to assemble. And it floats. Yay! Thanks, man. We will not be testing the dinghy today due to conditions. We'll have to do that another time. Plus, we got a weather window to go to Bradenton for tomorrow, so we've got to get groceries. Inside the pig, we're going to bring home the bacon. We always return the cart. We are leaving Port St. Joe and Point South Marina. We never got to figure out what that thing is. Some kind of dredging equipment or something. Who knows? Oh, and something's different. Oh, it's our new dinghy. Upside down on the deck. We are headed to Bradenton, and we have a beautiful day and great condition. It's a 2-day sail, and if we usually calculate based on 5.5 knots per hour. This journey is significant for us because last year we only got as far as Port St. Joe, and now we are getting further than that, headed to Bradenton, hopefully on our way to the Bahamas and then the Caribbean. I'm sure there are plenty of adventures in store for us as we move south. We can't wait to try out our new dinghy and explore Bradenton.